It's Thursday, May 5th, 2011, and you're watching the Morning Swim Show. I'm Jeff Cummings, filling in today for Peter Bush, and in the Phoenix Monitor, we'll talk to Steve Hogen, the athletics director for Mesa Public Schools in Arizona, and one of the masterminds behind winning the bid for last weekend's Masters National Swimming Championships. Steve joins us right now from Mesa. Hi, Steve. How are you doing today?
Great, Jeff. Thanks. How are you?
Doing well. I saw you out on the deck in Mesa. Have you kind of recovered from the enormity that is Masters Nationals?
Yeah, a little sleep deprived and feeling a few effects from the sun, but it was a great event and we had a great time hosting it.
Well, I have to say, it was one of the most well-run meets, Masters or otherwise, that I've been to. What kind of grade would you give it?
Well, it really exceeded all of our expectations and they were high. Kind of the leadership style, you hire good people and get out of their way. And we had some great people. You start with Paul and Laura Smith, who a lot of the Masters know, Aaron Shields, who's our site director, plus all the volunteers. So they did an outstanding job. And we really appreciate all the help from the U.S. Masters, plus the championship committee. It was a great event. We really enjoyed it.
Well, let's go back a few years when you and others in Mesa had the idea of hosting this meet. Take us through the process of submitting that bid to host the meet.
Okay, sure. Well, one of the things, as you can tell, was the new pool. We had just built Keno Pool, the Keno Aquatic Center. Very proud of that. Thought it was a great venue. One of the things that helped us to build that pool was we could kind of sell the whole idea that not only is that pool going to be used for community use through our Parks and Recreation programs, we use it for our high school programs, use it for club programs, be it diving, synchronized swimming, age group swimming, master swimming, water polo, but then also to be able to take that and kind of hopefully be somewhat of an economic generator by hosting big meets such as the U.S. Masters Nationals. So we went to Chicago, put in our bid, won that, and we spent the last 2 years kind of preparing for this meet.
Now, you mentioned the pool, and I got to say, as far as city-run pools go, it's pretty fantastic. How did you convince the powers that be in Mesa that the city needed a pool like this?
Well, we have a unique agreement. It's an intergovernmental agreement between the school district and the city of Mesa. So that's really been very fortunate to help us not only in pools, but in gyms and soccer fields, baseball fields, etc. But probably close to about 20 years ago, the city of Mesa, we passed a 1-cent sales tax that was a quality of life with the idea that that was going to go and build a state-of-the-art indoor swimming complex that could host these types of meets, Olympic qualifiers, etc. Well, as that money kind of grew and we had that set aside, some things changed. We had some different political entities that came in. They started to argue about what site to put it on. And as you know, at that time, what was $20-some million, what it could buy 20 years ago was kind of declining. Each year we were going to be able to get less and less. Then the real kicker was about probably 5 or 6 years ago, they came in and decided they were going to try and take some of this money and build a courthouse with it. And being a city of Mesa, member myself, that's not what we agreed upon. This was a quality of life for athletic or recreational activities or venues. So we got with the city, got with the school district, said let's get things built. As you know, the model of having a kind of indoor one-site facility has kind of changed for your big events. It's now bring in, build the pool, put it in a big arena, take the pool down. So we kind of changed our mindset with that. Instead of having that one big indoor, we've now built a similar facility just like Keno out at Skyline High School. And some of our other pools were getting a little bit older, so we've refurbished some of them. Some we've taken out, put in new ones. So it's kind of really taking what was turning into a negative situation, and we've turned it into a gigantic positive situation.
And are you seeing that there's a demand in Mesa for having not just Keno, but the new Skyline Pool in terms of usage?
Yes, it's increasing dramatically. One of the things when I saw that we were going to be building this pool, as the director of athletics for our school district, we have a great agreement, like I mentioned. The city will build the pools, we donate the land, and then during the operations, we pay for the heat. They will take care of the maintenance and those types of things. So I could see that some of those costs were going up, and what could we do? So we formed our own swim club, Mesa Aquatics, which used to be around. A lot of great swimmers have gone through that, but it's been dormant for probably about 8 to 10 years. So we created our own club, and about 3.5 years ago, we were probably at about 25 members and about 3 to 5 master swimmers. We're now pushing 500 at this point.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, I know that Paul Smith, who's been kind of running that team, has been doing really well with that. Now, as athletic directors for Mesa Public Schools, do you see any kind of growing interest in swimming as a high school sport because of the presence of these new pools?
Yeah, I think it's, they're obviously very attractive. And before I get onto that, really, I got to, Paul and Laura Smith and the energy and enthusiasm that they brought to our entire swim program, especially Masters, but all of it, has been outstanding. I mean, they've been crucial in this development, along with the other people that we've had along the way that have helped out and done some things. Sam Houston, I think swam back in Colorado and a Colorado high school coach, helped us to get started. But yeah, we've seen a pretty good increase. We have 6 high schools here in Mesa. We've done extremely well over the years. We have the fortune or misfortune in the high school world of having to compete against Brophy Prep and Xavier, who are national type contenders. So unfortunately, we're kind of gearing for second place every year. But our goal in starting our Mesa Aquatics was that sometime not only would one of our schools beat them, but multiple schools. So we have seen an increase in our high school numbers, even though they were high to begin with.
Now, looking back at nationals, what do you see as being Mesa's economic impact on this?
Early estimates are we're probably going to be 3 to 5 million just in Mesa. We had just under 2,000 swimmers. I would say probably 85% of them were from out of state. The hotels were very thankful. The restaurants, they loved it. One of the first master swimmers I saw, I was at the YMCA giving out some of our credentials so that they were aware of some people might be coming in. He was right there, asked for directions. He'd come in, he'd bought a bike, and he was going to use that for the week. So you can see there's a lot of fallout, a lot of things that were going to help the city of Mesa. And again, that helps us in justifying and building these pools from that economic standpoint.
So it does look like Mesa's ready for the big leagues. Do you guys have any thoughts on maybe having a USA Swimming Nationals there?
We would love to host as much as we can. We've been fortunate. We've hosted the last 2 state high school meets. We've become the pool for that. As I mentioned, about 1 month in completion is the Skyline Pool. So we're hosting some invitationals. We have the Synchronized Swimming Nationals coming in 2012. We'll be bidding on all kinds, and hopefully kind of what our motto was this was kind of our test. This was our bid for other events. If we could prove we could pull this off and do the job that we thought we could, we were hoping that people would be saying, hey, we got to go back to Mesa. And hopefully we've done that.
Well, as a competitor, as someone who was overhearing a lot of comments on deck, I kind of have the feeling that if there's a thought or plan to have nationals come back to Arizona, I think Mesa's going to be on top of the list.
Great. We'd love to have them.
Well, Steve, thanks for joining us today. Congratulations on a very successful meet, and good luck with everything you guys are doing down the road. Well,
thanks, Jeff. If I could just make one last comment, too.
Yeah.
Just the fact that what we really found to be pretty neat about that meet here this past year, just last weekend, was, you had our oldest swimmer, I believe, was 95, and we had the unique ability to have a lot of our schools and swim teams there helping. We had 14-year-olds timing for 95-year-olds. I think that was great for both. It was neat to see the comments or listen to the comments of not only the adults saying, what nice kids, it's great to have them cheering, but for our 14, 15, 16-year-olds to be looking at these swimmers thinking, who are these old guys and old ladies, and realize they'd be kicking my butt. So that was kind of a neat thing for them to see, and there was a mutual respect, I think, garnered there. So I thought that was one of the really cool things about it, was that interaction between students and our master swimmers.
Yeah, I think you might be seeing a few new master swimmers in about 10 or 15 years from those timers.
Yeah, well, thanks, and we were glad that you could come out and swim, and you were looking good.
It was my pleasure, Steve. Thanks again.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, that's Steve Hogen from Mesa joining us in the Phoenice Monitor, and that's our show for today. I'm Jeff Cummings. Thanks for watching.